Okay, in this quick video, I'm going to take a look at the notes that we did in class over using long division for dividing polynomials. So example 1, we have 3x squared minus 14x minus 5 divided by x minus 5. So this trinomial divided by this binomial. All right, so the x minus 5 is our divisor, and then the 3x squared minus 14x minus 5 is our dividend, so this is how we set that up. Now, when you're doing this long division, you always just look at this first term. This is a 1x. And then you look at the first term here. So this says 3x squared divided by 1x. Well, 3 divided by 1 is 3, and then x squared divided by x would be x to the 1 power. So notice I have the 3x to the 1 lined up with the minus 14x to the 1. Now, once you get that 3x, you have to multiply both of these terms, the x and the minus 5, times the 3x. So 3x times x, well, that's 3x squared. Then 3x times negative 5, well, that's negative 15x. Well, just like any long division, we're going to subtract this from the 3x squared minus 14x. So I put a minus sign, and then I put a set of parentheses to be sure that you subtract both of these terms. So now the 3x squared minus 3x squared just cancels, that's 0. But then we have a negative 14x minus negative 15x, which really makes that like a positive. So negative 14x plus 15x is 1x. Now, we have this minus 5 that we need to bring down, x minus 5. So now we're dividing x minus 5 into x minus 5. And you may recognize those are the same. But again, we just look at the first term, x into x. 1x into 1x. It goes one time. And then 1 times x is x. And 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. And when you subtract x minus 5 from x minus 5, you get 0. So you have no remainder. So your answer is 3x plus 1. Now let's take a look at number 2. So in this one, we have x squared plus x minus 17 divided by x minus 4. So we set it up here, our divisor x minus 4 divided into x squared plus x minus 17. All right, again, we start with our first term, 1x and 1x squared. So 1x squared divided by 1x is 1x to the 1 power. Then we multiply this x by both of these terms. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. But then we're subtracting this to see what we have left. So I'll put a minus sign and a set of parentheses because this is a polynomial, so we need to subtract both of those. That makes this x squared negative, so x squared minus x squared is 0. And then 1x minus negative 4x, that's 1x plus 4x, which is 5x. Now, your 5x was the remainder there. Well, then you bring down the rest of the dividend. So minus 17, bring that down. So now it says 5x minus 17. So now this is what's being divided by x minus 4. So 5x, the first term, divided by this first term. 5x divided by 1x, well, that's 5. So plus 5. Then we multiply that plus 5 times x, and we get 5x. Then we multiply 5 times negative 4, and we get negative 20. Then we're going to see what our remainder is from here by subtracting. Again, always putting that in parentheses so that we distribute this subtraction or this negative to both of these terms. So 5x minus 5x is 0. Negative 17 minus negative 20. Well, minus a negative 20 is going to become plus 20. So negative 17 plus 20 is 3. And we have a remainder of 3. So here is how we write our remainder. We got x plus 5 as we were working it out. Then we put our remainder, which was positive, so plus 3 over the divisor x minus 4. And that is our answer. Okay, now one more example, example 3. We have x cubed. Sorry, let me zoom back in there. We have x cubed minus 4x plus 6 divided by x plus 3. So the divisor, x plus 3, into the dividend. Okay, now, please notice here in this dividend, x cubed minus 4x to the 1. There is no x squared. Well, we have to account for that x squared. Okay, it would be similar to a number like 7 divided into 1,024. Okay, you have to account for this 0. Even though it's a 0, you can't just get rid of it. That would make this number 124. So right here, because there's no x squared, I'm going to write x cubed, but then I'm going to use a place value. So plus 0x squared. Then my next term is x to the 1, so it's 3 to 1. So I write minus 4x and then my constant plus 6. So for this one, the difference is I have to put this place value of 0x squared. Then I just start doing the division. And we always start with just the first term divided into the first term. So an x cubed divided by x to the 1, well, that will be x squared. Think of your exponents. We have a 3 divided by a 1. We subtract 3 minus 1 is 2. So we multiply this x squared times both of these terms. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 3 is 3x squared. Then we subtract this from the x cubed plus 0x squared. When I do that, x cubed minus x cubed is 0. 0x squared minus 3x squared is negative 3x squared. That was what was left. But then I bring down the rest, or minus 4x, the next term, minus 4x. And then again, I look at the first term, negative 3x squared divided by the first term, x. Well, a negative 3x squared divided by a positive 1x is negative 3x. Notice again, I'm lined up with my exponents. The 2's are lined up, the 1's are lined up, okay? Well, negative 3x times both of these terms, negative 3x times x is negative 3x squared. Negative 3x times 3, negative 9x. And then I subtract both of these terms. So negative 3x squared minus negative 3x squared, that cancels because it's negative 3x squared plus 3x squared, 0. Then we have a negative 4x minus negative 9x. Again, it makes that plus, so negative 4x plus 9x is 5x. So that's what was left, but I have to bring down my final last term here, plus 6, so I bring that down, plus 6, 5x plus 6, and then we look at 5x divided by 1x. Well, that's just 5. Then we multiply to see what we have left. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 3 is negative 15. Then we subtract that to get our remainder. 5x minus 5x is 0. And 6 minus 15 is negative 9. Negative 9 over x plus 3 is my remainder. So x squared minus 3x plus 5 minus 9 over x plus 3. And that is just simply going over today's examples from the lesson of dividing polynomials using long division.